Alright lads, welcome back to another session here, another episode of the Germany playthrough. In the previous session we conquered a decent amount of Eastern Europe here in the Hungarian region. That's really good. I've been looking at things guys and I'm really worried about the time constraint here. The prestige is a big issue. It's really a big issue. We also need to PU Greece and we're running out of time lads. So let's check about handing some more provinces off to Savoy. Are we able to do that? Yes, we are. At the end of the last episode, I will pay off Savoy's debt. Let's pay it off. That might help somehow out with prestige, him building more units to fight with, for example. We began integrating the Mamelukes at the end of the last episode. So that's nice because it will actually eliminate one of the... We're over our relations limits, unfortunately, by one, and that costing me 1 point per turn is quite brutal, actually. Alright, he has to call up more before we give him Fez. In Raguza's case, can I give him more of Croatia? I don't think I can. I think I recall doing that. Yep. So he has to core up more. Otherwise, in terms of truces, our truce comes up with Russia soon. So we're going to do more Crimea feeding. Suffering attrition here, that's really bad news. Yeah. Yes, indeed. We just took a little bunch of land here. Trying to work on the Armenian region a bit. I'm looking at the supply limit. These cities, good. We're not going to suffer attrition on those provinces. So I guess, yeah, I guess we're actually moving time along here. It feels a little bit unusual. But basically we're hoping for an opportunity to PU Greece. And we're integrating our subjects. We're losing 6 Diplo per turn while we... I'll actually remain without a royal marriage there as it will affect our legitimacy and that worsens our stuff. It worsens something. Our absolutism. Yep, so it's definitely worth it to integrate the Mamelukes. It will hurt our reputation, but there's an advantage to that for sure. There is an advantage to that. Integrating Kiev more slowly, but at least we gain some Diplo points if that's the case, if our reputation is hurt, because I want to complete diplomatic ideas quite badly. Now, as far as policies, I'm intrigued by the max promoted cultures, because we currently only have 3 more. And I'm going to be dedicating 1 towards Hungary, the Hungarian culture. By the way, Austria has been eliminated from Europe, which is good, but we still have... I mean, Hungary is still his subject, which is not good. It's going to be a pain, I can tell. Now, I can take admin and military points if needed. Yes, so maybe... What cultures remain, guys? We've done Scandinavia. We just need to hand that off to Lapland. So, there's Irish, Highlander and Scottish, that's 3. Welsh, that's 4. Hungarian is 5. There's all of these. Turkish and so on. My plan is to give it to Greece, of course. I do think the Irish is the way to go, to release Highlander and feed them Irish and Scottish and Welsh. That makes sense to me. So maybe I could just conquer... You know what? I could just accept these cultures. They'd have to be 20 development. Pontic and Gothic I could just accept to get rid of them. That could be a solution. I'm kind of sad about releasing Greece because that's a good solution. We can easily have him... What's his war school cost? Dude, sick. Let's vassalize Greece. I like it. Let's vassalize Greece. Yes. Feed him Turkey. And just accept these cultures. So we don't have to worry about imperial rank. We have the culture slots available to do that. Cool. Now I will be owning this little obscure region of the world. Admittedly, that is it's a bit strange. But this gives us something to do in the meantime, so I think I will in fact do that. Am I missing anything? This is 2 culture slots. I think we can afford to do that. I really do. We're going to be using my culture slots on Hungary, Greek, Pontic, and then, no, Gothic and Pontic, and then we give Turkish to Greek when our truce comes up with the Ottomans, which is soon. We hand it all to Greece as much as I can. I think there's no harm in doing that. Forget the PUs. Forget the PUs, lads. Let's 100% Greece. Hopefully this gives an opportunity for my subjects to get some prestige. Apparently my sailors have been busy here. And it seems surprising that the war score cost is low enough, but makes sense. We have all the absolutism. We should just be able to vassalize them. Yep. So it seems quite weird, admittedly, that we freed him. It cost 200 points. Rip. Yeah, I certainly regret freeing him, but there you go. This game, what we are attempting to do is just so strange, quite frankly. So it's quite difficult to be 100% aware of what is the appropriate course of action. But I'll tell you what, this is really painful, taking this 200 diplo point cost. It is quite unpleasant. I'm wondering about... See, Ragusa's not really strong enough to even beat Greece, because he's got that subject penalty. But what the lads suggested is to attach to Ragusa. Let's try that out for size, to give some prestige to Ragusa. A generalist stack, yep, which is the case there. Attached to Ragusa, so he leads the battle. So let's see if he can get some prestige, as he will eventually go down here, I imagine. Makes my mercenaries really expensive, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's do the same thing with Savoy, guys. It costs attrition and so on, but so be it. Trying to have them win some battles and become badass in terms of prestige. In Russia's case, I should try to move some units out here to make short work of him as possible, if possible. And I also wish to declare on the Timurids, but it looks like what we can do, if I declare on Russia and we take territory out in this area, then I can separate peace the Timurids when we fight the Ottomans to take the required amount. Yeah, I guess it did something. Either way, Greece is done. No. No, he's not. He's got roads. Let's work on that. Our south roads in Cyprus each have forts on them. Yogurt rebels. Get out of here, Yogurt. Oh, before I forget, guys. Good job, everybody. Pat on the back for 2 episodes ago. YouTube comments. You guys did your job really nicely. Does that guy have forced siege? Dang. Of course we get +1 siege to our generals because of their policies. My policy. So that's nice. Yeah, that went about as well as expected in terms of the YouTube comments and so on. Alright, so I might as well jack him of his money and give it back or something if we need to. And yeah, it seems very weird to do this, guys, but let's state these up. That up, it's 1 state, nice, that's at least something. So this is, okay. Let's accept Gothic. Yep, it's good, it's real good. Now I need to develop 3 times, or I could spend admin coring this up. My stupid Diplo points. I think that's the way to go. Admin coring this up. Except Pontic. And we're absolutely starved for Diplo points. Feels bad, man. Okay. Pontic is done. Now, yeah, we can in fact unstate this. There's no harm in doing that. We go. So, Gothic and Pontic brought into the realm 100%. Full accepted. Now we have 1 slot remaining, which I intend to use on Hungary. Which we cannot afford to do right now. Add that to the burgers. Still some Catholic provinces, eh? In Hungary. It's been a while actually since I looked at the religious map mode. Alright. This guy's done. And rip Diplo points. Feels bad, man. We get 11 per turn at least whilst we're not integrating. But there we go. Yeah, that was harsh. That was a harsh price we paid there, 200. When we could have just held on to Greece just how they were after releasing them, but there you go. There we go. I'm feeling a little bit better about that, guys. All of Greece fully accepted in Greece major, right? Now I plan to give him the Turkish stuff. In fact, let's give him some of the Turkish stuff already. But not the capital, as we are converting it back to Greece just for the lols. The reason I'm going to do this now is to give him something to spend his admin points on, so that he's not so starved later on. making Greece great again, right, lads? That was the plan. I have to be very careful not to give him that, and not to give him any non-Turkish stuff. Oh man, the borders are going to be really ugly. Yeah, guys, I know I said I would try to do Armenia, but I'm feeling a little bit lethargic about doing that. For bonus points. I mean, I'm going to have to convert it, culture convert it. I'm happy to do this part, I guess, considering I'm already doing it, but this part I'm not. I'm sorry, lads. It's all about Europe. The way that I'm going to do it is have this handed off to Circassia. You guys will see. It's just that Armenia may not be fully accepted, and if it's not fully accepted, then what can I do? That's just how it is. Okay, I should already be going in against Russia, so here we go. Now, we've done Perm. We don't need the Muscovite stuff until we've integrated Kiev, so it's all about this stuff, and then just extra. Oh man, it's going to take forever to get war score here. For me, it's all about the... what is it called? Tartar land, and then anything extra to hand off to them to increase their development. That's what I'm looking at. Next truce is the Ottomans, which actually comes up this year. So with that in mind, let's keep stacks ready to smash the Ottomans. Oh, Greece actually looks really nice. I like the look of that, and it's going to get a lot better here once we give them more of Anatolia. Greece is one of those things that I've played so many times, if you see what I'm saying, but not in that form. Its true form. States, I've got a lot of states available. So let's do this. I should have handed off some territory before I went back to war. I took a break here, by a couple of days, and it seems awfully apparent we're over our diplo relations again. Typical. Now that we've obtained Greece. And I guess I will walk all the way up into Siberia. Timurids won't back him up, so be it, that's fine. I will break this unit up and make sure to kind of not carpet siege, but siege. It's fine. Rebels here is no big deal. Siege more than one province at a time, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I'll try to do that. Okay, our admiral has died, that's fine. Now, my tactic against the Russians is kind of just hoping that they're not around to defend themselves. They're certainly, when we take the Japanese troops into equation, they're certainly not that flash hot, these Russians, any longer. They're mostly low dev stuff, provinces. And we know that we have better quality than they do. Yeah, so the problem with this war here, guys, is the war score cost. Because pushing on for 100% against this is going to be very painful. It's going to take like 5 years plus. Stupid allies, you know? But it's nice that the Timurids didn't back them up. Yeah, we know we can drop his enthusiasm really well. Well, it is a relief that we don't feel as though we have to PU Greece, as that was one of the things that I felt like the game hinged upon, but it's just quite difficult to cover all the bases and think about things clearly. And as it happens, we do not need to PU him. So that's really, really cool. Okay, stole a heavy ship there, that's nice. Speaking of PUs, are we good? No PU's going to defect due to relations or anything like that? Nope, we're good. And our own heir is actually going to be a good boon. We'll have to spend military points to boost our legitimacy, but I will do that. A good boon to monarch points. I'm looking forward to it. Pay off the Greek debt. Let's look at our PUs, which are Crimea. Here's debt, pay that off. Ragusa. Ragusa's fine. Savoy, pay it off. That may have a positive effect on the prestige in the long run. That's what we're going for. Oh wow, the Ottomans seriously have some navy. And with that in mind, I'm not just going to go ahead and throw my navy into it, because it would not be a flawless victory. We'd suffer casualties, which is quite tedious to deal with. One approach we can take with the Ottomans... Thank goodness. Doged him. Get doged. I thought we were going to get stack wiped there. One approach with the Ottomans, we could go for short truce time. Just take whatever it is to be efficient. And we could definitely consider some truce breaks this time around this game, because we haven't been putting our admin points towards, you know, trying to incorporate the entirety of the world. So we have to put it towards something, right? And in order to not have to wait until we're at peace, I think I'm just going to give these occupations to the Crimea. Liberty desire is certainly not an issue at all. This is quite tedious, but it's the way to go in my opinion. I basically want to give him his entire culture group. If we're going to make him an empire government type, I might as well give him this stuff as decent amount of... Oh really? I unequipped the general from the stack. Just don't have enough generals to go around. I might as well give him his own culture, is what I was trying to say. I guess. As he also cores it up faster, right, the Crimea? And it should be more stable. That is a mountains fort, sick. Let's go beat this guy up there on the mountains. He's already moved. Never mind. Knew that was a vulnerable place to be. Yeah, so my major concern is completing Diplo ideas and integrating Kiev. I say concern, but you guys know what I mean, because then we can release subjects like whales via man. Vile man. In order to demoralize the Russians, we should destroy his troops. Oh man. I was trying to record something else and my voice is just quite frankly getting quite dry. Even though I know it's the beginning of this episode. I haven't been recording for long, let's put it that way. That's how it appears. I know that. Let me also just say, guys, just because it's on my mind, a couple things. I don't intend my channel or my stuff to be like sort of political or of anything controversial. That is kind of just how I am. But ultimately, I know that you guys don't really care about me in that way, in that manner. It's not me standing upon my own prowess that will gain any kind of notoriety. It will in fact be my contributions to this game, that kind of thing, that eventually becomes noteworthy. But yeah, I felt like being honest for once, and with that being said, I did want to say that you guys might not think so. Come on, Chroman, did you get caught there? Anyway, I'm a pretty funny guy, lads. I'm a pretty funny guy. My favorite comment, I replied to a lot of the comments, and then I thought I just wouldn't bother because it is what it is. Budget Monk cannot change the world one YouTube comment at a time. Lol. But I did reply to one guy who said you need to learn evolution or something to that effect. By saying, meanwhile, in science class... I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh at my own jokes. Meanwhile, in science class... Look, Misty, Pikachu's evolving into Raichu. Pikachu's evolving. Whoop, 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 whoop. Pikachu evolved into Raichu. Right? It's like, am I the only person who feels like life is like a dream or something, dude? Yeah. Science class. And then you go home. That's what it was like for me as a kid. It's like, this thing evolves into that thing, and there's nothing in between, right? Apart from an arrow, and then you go home. It's almost like spiritual warfare going on, and people are so spiritually malnourished that they're just like, no, this is totally normal to be bombarded with evolution all of a sudden as a kid. That you say that kind of thing will make that kind of implication, and people are like, you're a conspiracy theorist. And in my case, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a spiritualist theorist. Enough, though. Enough. I've already talked too much about the subject. But it's just like, I think you guys can see what I'm implying. Things are connected, in my opinion. And that's because I'm a full-blown moron. That's why I see connections, right, lads? Just typical craziness, insanity, typical schizophrenia, no big deal or anything like that. Oh, and also I hate having to feel like I have to explain my jokes. Like, you know, I've been arrogant lately, so I might as well continue being arrogant. But I'm a pretty like I don't know how to explain it, guys. I'm not cool. I'm not cool. Like everybody would be envious of me. Like, oh man, he's so cool. What an alpha. What a jock. No, I'm not cool like that. But people like me. They do really like me, and you'd be surprised how difficult it is in this format, guys, to just one-way broadcast. it's difficult. Like, when you deal with people, there is kind of an interface. Like, you can see to some extent how people are feeling about what you're saying by the way that they behave and respond. It's not that way when you're recording online. And yeah, so I mean, I feel like apologizing for some of the jokes and stuff I make because of the way that they are received, but at the same time, having to do that, like apologize for a joke, it's quite depressing. It's counterintuitive. I feel like people should just be mature and understand that I'm making a joke or something like that. You know, it's weird, but in like a one-on-one situation, if you tell a joke and the person is just like, oh, that's awkward or uncomfortable, you wouldn't feel like, oh, get over it, it's just a joke. You would actually feel like, oh, well, that I didn't do well, that was a bad joke, you know? But I don't have that kind of immediate interaction when I'm doing this kind of thing, and I'm saying that in reference to where I said the most superior culture group in Europe, Hungary. Very often when I say stuff, I afterwards say I'm joking. And even when I say that, I feel like it kind of diminishes the joke. It should be obvious that it's a joke. And I also think it's part of Kiwi humor. I learned that from my previous chef that I worked with. I think he's a hilarious guy. And he says outrageous things. And you're kind of like, you're joking, right? Like that's part of the joke. I don't know if you'd call it edgy or whatever. But saying like, yes, I am joking kind of diminishes it a bit. But anyway, in regards to the Hungarian thing, guys, like, do you seriously think intellectually that I think, like, if I say that with a straight face, I think Hungarians are genetically superior to other people on the planet? Like, how ridiculous. I mean, how ridiculous. I say that, the whole joke is that I have a bias because I have Hungarian blood. I've grown up eating Hungarian food. I think about things that people miss out on. Like, oh man, rats for you. You're stuck with Italian food being popular. Feels bad, man. Get wrecked. Like I admire and appreciate and like Hungarian stuff, right? And that's the main reason why I have any kind of admiration or anything like that. If it was Greek, it would be Greek. Right? So I say, like, yeah, Hungary specifically, because I have Hungarian blood, Hungarian family. And then I say I give the opposite impression, right? Like, it's not because I'm Hungarian, it's because they're genetically superior. That's why I like them. Right? It's like, I mean, it's a bad joke. Like I say the absolute worst thing to say that you shouldn't say, right? Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. And if you ask yourself, like, is he kidding? Like, how could I not be kidding? How could I not be kidding? Jeez, man. What are you? Like, a child? How could I not be kidding? Now I feel like an imbecile for even addressing it. Because there's probably one guy that doesn't get the joke. Anyways, sorry, my bad. Bad commentary this episode. I'd take it back if I could. But I thought I'd address that one because that wasn't related to the subject that I knew I was talking about, which was really controversial. And right now, as far as the game is concerned, you guys all know what's happening. We're just slow rolling the world. So might as well run my mouth while I'm doing it. Now, 50%, maybe I should just peace him out. We can always truce break, because it's going to take a long time. He's low enthusiasm. Wow. Hang on. He could be lower enthusiasm. I think maybe... Well, we're not working on a fort. Forget it, dude. Let's just get out. I should have handed them over to Greece directly. That's my bad, because we're now overextended. Yep. I should have handed them over to Greece. It's okay. We'll just be overextended. Oh my god. I'm just cringing. I'm just cringing, guys. Like, if you guys knew me as a person, right? Who talks about Hungary? I don't know if you guys are Europeans or something, But Hungary's a pretty obscure nation compared to other nations, right? And I'm like, yeah, my favorite culture, the best culture in the whole world by far, Hungary. And you're like, what? Typical. If you knew me, you'd be like, typical, right? Because he's Hungarian or whatever. And then I'm like, not because, the reason why is because they're genetically superior. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, it's such a dumb thing to say, right? If you knew me, you'd be like, as if it's just because you're Hungarian. That's the only reason you're saying that. Whatever. You damn guys. I'm like that comedian who goes, I'm like, what? You philicides? You don't understand. Like, anyway. Brilliant. Yep. But that's how things go. You do better, guys. You make YouTube videos and rant for hours upon hours. You do better, you damn guys. It's not my fault that you guys are low IQ. Okay, just stop while you're ahead. Stop while you're behind. I'm kidding there as well, right? Do I have to explain myself? God dang it. You freaking guys. I hate you. I'm about to retire. This is the last Budget Monk series ever. So let's look at the culture here. Russia's being resilient for some reason, which is annoying. I think I want that. It's the stupid war score. He's got forts out in Asia and he's allied to Japan. Ugh. Why is it the case? Like some guy calls me a nazi, guys. A nazi. I never say the N-word. Nazi. Except pronounced correctly, because then my YouTube videos get flagged. Or whatever. Demonetized. I think I did say it actually in that video. But anyway. Did I? No, I don't think I did. Yeah, but he calls me a nazi for saying, you know, I'm a racist, the good kind of racism. It's like, come on, dude. Is this the Weimar Republic? What's going on? I'm a Magyar supremacist. I made a joke that I'm a Magyar supremacist. And then people mocked me of my inability to say the Hungarian word for Hungarian. Because I cannot pronounce it correctly. But it's a joke, man. It's like, is that a real thing? It probably is a real thing, but it's like, do you really think I'm a... Oh my goodness. Like, how dumb can you be, man? Jeez. I grew up in the 90s, man. You could pretty much just say whatever you wanted. I miss it, to be honest. You just say whatever you wanted, and people would just be like, yeah, but he's cool. Man, we're a far cry from that, lads. Turns out, I mean, plot twist, they don't know anything about you, right? You can look after your dying grandmother, right? Spend, like, years out of your life taking care of your family, doing stuff, always doing what's morally correct, right? Never asking anything from anybody. Never taking anything from the system. Never, you know, being a deadbeat. Nothing, right? Working hard. Always polite, always respectful. You uphold yourself to that kind of standard, right? Give hard-earned money away to charities, that kind of thing, right? And people who don't even know a thing about you are like, yeah, but he said a word that he's nazi. Write him off. It's like, what? It's depressing. Like, I have to laugh about it to, like, stop myself from crying about it. Like, I feel so sorry for people. Are you dumb? I'm pretty sure, because I don't even, that word has been so, used that it's, like, meaningless in my opinion. Like, people should stop using it, because it's, like, when people call me that, it's just like, it doesn't do anything. It's like, whatever. But, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. You would think that... I'm pretty sure... Like, let's just use it as an example. don't you have to do something bad to earn that kind of title? That's what I would think. You have to do something bad. It's just confusing. This is the best subject matter to talk about, right, guys? No, but it's just confusing to me. Like, if you just call somebody it for any reason, you just feel like saying it. I don't know. It's trivializing it. It seems like you have the opposite intention that you do. It's like, why would you say that? You know, I'm not sure I'm being perfectly clear, but it's like if you disagree with somebody and they're a nazi, right? Because it's like, what? They have a different political opinion or whatever. They vote for the other candidate, right? Then what's to stop? What are you going to call the person when you've got a hood over your head and you're down on your knees with a cold blade or gun steel to the side of your dome, right? What are you going to call them then? Oh, please don't. What's your appeal to reason? Like, if you're just the secular devil, right? If you're the secular devil for just being who you are, then what motivation do you have to not take advantage of some of the perks of being the secular devil? Like crushing those people who disagree with you. Right? Like, don't you have to do something bad to warrant that kind of thing? That's what I thought. Because if you're a good person, you warrant that kind of usage, kind of terminology. The definition changes. I thought you had to do something bad. Like, am I making any sense? I don't think I'm making sense. That's why I keep going on about it. I mean, they act like I've done something bad. What have I done? I haven't done anything bad like that. It's like, oh man, you made a joke about Hungarian culture. You're a Nazi. Oh man, you said the spacist word with R in it. You're a Nazi. So, oh man, isn't there something in between me and that though? I would have thought there's something in between me and that. Or is it just, it's just one or the other? Alright, well, if I'm that, then I don't know. I'm just saying. If I'm that, I don't know, man. Maybe watch your back around me. Do you get it? Good one, Mike. I have to now say I'm joking after every joke, right, guys? But I'm just saying, you know, man, feels bad, man, right? They use it as an insult, so it's like you don't want it, right? But you take it anyway. So, man, might as well take care of some of the perks, guys. Some of the perks. Yep, some of the perks of being Nazi. Like destroying your enemies, watching them melt before you. Invade their privacy, lads. Household invasions. Feels good, man. Alright, now, I need Diplo points. How much is it? 100? Apparently not. Really? I thought it was 100 to accept culture, but it would cost us 96 there. So, this might be one of those rare occasions where you can spend less points and it doesn't put you into the negative there. That's interesting. Anyways, guys, Hungarian, check. Accumulated. Acquire a renode. Fantastic. Now we're no longer over our overextended, but we should hand stuff off. Yeah, the real thing, because I'm going to digress even further, guys, like, it's whatever, we'll wrap the episode up here, because it's lasting on too long, but the other thing is, like, people are so ignorant, most people, they don't know the first thing about, that term that they use for, like, the secular devil, whether it's the F term, or the N term. They don't know anything about it. Like, I guarantee you. I mean, they don't do something as simple as, like, Wikipedia the word or whatever. And I don't even think that's a good thing to do. I think we have a culture where, do you guys see Little Britain, that skit show? It's how people operate. It like used to be a joke, but it's like a real thing now. Computer says no. Computer says no. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's like, hold on, computer says no. Like they just pull the computer out of their pocket. Anyway, but they can't even do so much as that. Like, my understanding of the N word is that it used to be a slang term for the Austro-Hungarian troops. And it's come so far from them. Like, the etymology of the word is insane, and people don't know the first thing about it. Man, it's crazy. Like, do you guys think that during the third administration, see, I don't want to get flagged on my video, but it's whatever, the Reich, I imagine, I don't know if that gets flagged or not, I shouldn't do, because they would flag every German video. Do you think they were walking around saying like, hey Nazi, guten Tag, hey Nazis, what's up Nazis? Like, are you guys insane? It's literally a derogative term for a German. Like, that's literally what it is. Prove me wrong. I don't know. I'm not a historian, but that is my impression. That it was used as a derogative term for a German. That's really what it was. Because the regime, so many people eventually became approving of the regime. It's just a blanket term as a derogative term for them, and it's quite unusual. That my understanding is the way that it is used now is the only way that it has ever been used, really. Oh, you disagree with me? You're a Nazi. That's my understanding. I could be wrong, but man, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. It's like, who are you talking to with that word? I digress way too far. Once again, regret opening my mouth. Monk, we have to get better at this. We have to get better. Deep here in this series, guys, this is where we drop the ball, pick it back up again at a different time. This is what happens when I play this game, and I'm kind of over it, but I'm trying to get through to the very end. It's going to be awkward to have a truce here with the Ottomans, and we need to do all of this stuff, but this video is getting too long, so I'm just going to end it here before I continue expressing my thoughts. Next up, we're going to be going in against the Papal State, and our truce with Tunis should be coming up here shortly. That's kind of bonus points, but Italy would be nice, and yeah, we do, in fact, not just for bonus points, need to deal with Turks, and I'm also, looking forward to integrating Kiev. Then we can finally deal with that part of Russia, and Europe will basically be done. We have to make sure these guys become imperial government rank, though, which is proving to be quite a problem by the looks of things. Either way, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.